Alright, we're going to try a little do-it-yourself project, and probably should have a disclaimer, but oh well. This is something that I haven't tried before, so I don't know if it's going to work, if it's not going to work. Sometimes these things are epic fails. As long as it's not a catastrophic event where somebody gets hurt, it's all good. Anyway, what I'm making here, or attempting to make some variation of, is a snoot for a Canon 580 flash. Sometimes you don't want a wide beam of light across your subject, you want a very narrow beam of light. And we're going to make one out of this sour cream container. It's a Daisy brand product. Not that we're promoting Daisy brand products. It is what it is. Anyway, the first issue that we have is all the writing. And what I'm thinking is that we could not only use this if we wanted to as a snoot, but we could also use it like a light dome. But with the writing on it, it would put a color cast. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to remove the writing with this PVC cleaner. This stuff can be pretty strong, so you need to use it in a well ventilated area. And we're going to see if it will remove the writing. Not sure if it will or not, but we're going to try it. And yep, it looks like it is taking it off. So anyway, we're going to continue to get the writing removed. Okay, we're back, and as you can see, the I guess it's Oakley's or something like that, PVC cleaner. It's just it's in the plumbing aisle over in your hardware store. Any of your local hardware stores will have it. And as you can see, it took all of the labeling off of the outside of the thing and the bottom, but weirdly, it would not affect the top. For some reason, I don't know if it's that the top is made out of a different material and the ink adhered to that material in a different chemical aspect that this won't take it off, or if they used a completely different ink on the tops as opposed to the bottoms. Anyway, something I really don't know, but anyhow, we're gonna mount the flash head through the top anyway, because the bottom is too narrow. So the next step is going to be to cut a hole in the top and mount the flash head in there. So this lettering should not affect us whatsoever, because the light will be traveling in that direction. So anyway, on to the cutting. Okay, so we're back inside in the shop now, and we've got the outside cleaned off. And like I pointed out a minute ago, the top wouldn't come clean, but that's not going to matter anyway. So I've got the top laid down flat on my workbench, and I've taken a pen and just drew an outline of what the flash is. And in this case, I'm going to be using the Canon 580 flash, so we'll set that off side. Here's the top, and I've drawn a line on there. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut on the inside of this line, if at all possible. left the line in there so that I can try to get a relatively tight fit. So now we're gonna just do a test fit here. As you can see, that fits pretty tight. Well, actually, it's going to go like this. That fits on there relatively tight. You probably still need to check this, though, and make sure that it's going to snap up on there. But anyway, that's the general idea of what we're going for. Now, like I said, you could theoretically put this on here and straight up in the air like this, you would probably have something similar to the Gary Fong light sphere. It you know, would send light out all the way around. That's not really what I was going for with this project. I'm more going for a narrower beam of light. So the next step is going to be to, we got two things we got to do. One, I want to be able to block light from coming through the sides. I don't want light coming through the sides. I want light only coming through the end. So I bought this black foam core paper, and you can get this at hobby shops and craft stores and whatnot. I'm going to see if I've got the pack that it came in here, and then I can show you. It comes in different colors, and I use it for various different projects when working with photography. Anyway, this is the label from it, so you can see what it is. And basically, it's foam, and it, like I said, it comes in different colors. I used the white for making other reflectors for the camera, and the black I used primarily as backing to give it a little bit more stability. Hopefully you can see that a little better, but instead of putting it on here square and trying to roll it, I'm putting it on here on the diagonal like this, and then folding this end up where these meet, and I can pull the bottom down here tight on the tapered end. So I end up with basically a cone. I've got a big end right here, I've got a little end right here, and we're going to cut that off. Trusting a crazy man with scissors here, but anyway. Stand clear. Here we go. I'm just going to follow the line of the cup right on around the top, just like that. And again, this is the first time I've ever even attempted to make something like this, so this could turn out to be an epic fail. But hey, nothing ventured, nothing gained. So now we're going to do the same thing to the bottom. And basically, I think what I'm going to do is, see, I had a razor blade around here somewhere. Here's another one. I hope it's just as sharp. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead back and kind of tighten this up again. Okay, and then I'm going to locate the end of my cup and stick the razor blade right in there on the end of the cup. And we're just going to go right on around the end of the cup, just like this. Okay, just like that. something like that. Right. Okay. Alright. Now pretty much I've got it. Let me trim this up a little bit right there so it looks a little bit better. Okay. Yeah, I pretty much, you know, got it like this now. I don't know if I'm doing this the right way or if I'm not doing it the right way, but I noticed down here where this is overlapping, it's coming up high. I need to cut a straight line across here, so I wouldn't want to cut down here. I need to cut where these two intersecting lines are. So I would think I would need to cut it right in here to get it to work right. But I also need to kind of check that. So I'm going to put a little mark right here with the pen if I can. Okay, and then I'm just going to set my finger there so that I can eyeball, come up here and put another little mark right here, and then I'm going to go under here and check it and see where I'm at. Okay, now I can see I've got a little bit of white right there showing, so I'm a little bit off as far as that goes. Let's see if we can tighten it up. It might stretch out a little bit to make it so that it covers. So now let's see, we've moved this over to here roughly, and this is actually right here like that. So I think what I'm going to do, since it's really not lined up perfectly straight, I think what I'm going to do is get me a straight edge and put it here and put it here, and then cut this with the straight edge.
I'm coming down here, David.
Just cut straight across like that, and now hopefully this is going to match up. But you can see there is a little bit of gap right here, but I'm really not worried about that gap so much, because my plan is to put this piece on the inside, so it's actually too large at this point. Basically what's going to happen is this is going to go inside of here, and as you can see, it's too big to even fit in there, so more is going to have to be trimmed off anyway. So with that fitting in there, when I put this top on and the flash goes through the container, now no light will come out of the outside of it. It'll only come through the end. So the next step that I'm going to do is going to be to cut this end off. And that's going to allow a beam of light to shoot straight out, giving you a snoot type effect. It's not a real long snoot, so it's not going to have a whole lot of adjustment as far as, you know, this way, making it longer or making it shorter, but it will have some adjustment because you can actually slide it on the flash itself, making the, putting the flash head closer to the end, which is going to give you a little bit of a wider beam, probably. I don't know for sure. But anyway, that'll be something that'll have to find out when I get to actually try the thing out and do the testing on it. So, but anyway, this is how far that we've gotten so far. So, alright. Before I cut the bottom off, I wanted to just kind of try it out. I don't know if it's going to show up on video or not, because the video is, running at a certain frames per minute, and unless I hit that button and it fires at the right time, it's not going to show up. Anyway, that was just for shits and giggles, I guess you'd say. You can see the inside. It's pretty much, it's just pretty much covered in black, and really I don't need to cut this to make it meet, because it overlapping is not going to hurt a thing. I can leave it like this, and then I can still take this piece out and set it aside and actually use it as a light sphere type of gizmo, if you want to call it that. So, on to the next step. Okay, now for the next phase, which is going to be to cut the bottom off. And I want to cut it off as close to the bottom as I possibly can. So basically, I'm going to try to cut it from the very end, I think. I don't know. I'm going to give it a whack and see what it does. Okay, so now we've got the bottom cut out, and we've got the piece inside, and we'll put the end on. And I was thinking about taping this end on, but if I do that, then I really can't take, the inside back out. So I'm thinking that when I use this thing, it's going to be, the flash head itself is going to be back as far as it can go. And I will probably I know I'll be shooting in manual mode, because I'll be shooting off of a light stand, and I will more than likely run the zoom all the way out to as far as it'll go. I think it's 105 on the 580, which will retract that strobe all the way back into this casing, which will even further narrow the beam of light that's coming out of this thing. I more than likely will have to turn the power ratio up a little bit to possibly compensate for retracting it back that far. And because it's coming through the snoot and the black, it's going to be absorbing a lot of light as opposed to reflecting a lot of light. It's probably going to diminish the light. I had thought about making an additional insert out of the white foam, and I don't think, I haven't tested it, but I don't think that the flash will come through the white foam, which would mean that you know, it would work as an insulator as far as keeping the light from coming out of the side. Well, it does come through. It comes through a little, but I mean that's right up against it, so it's not coming through very much. Heck, it probably comes through the black that much. Let's see. No, it doesn't come through the black at all. It doesn't come through the black at all. Nothing. So probably, I mean, it would probably work. My theory behind putting the white in there is that the white would not absorb the light. The light would reflect the beam around inside and concentrate it out, and possibly give it a little bit more power, as opposed to the black, which is, I assume that the black is going to somewhat absorb some of the light, and I may be totally wrong. That's just a theory that I have that could totally be wrong. It wouldn't surprise me because I'm wrong a lot. Anyway, overall, I would say that this wasn't an epic fail, and it wasn't catastrophic. Nobody got hurt. So I think it was worth doing. I'll probably try it out on something, some kind of way. I don't know. I haven't made up my mind yet. Once I figure out what photograph I want to do with it and try it out, I'll try to upload some samples of, you know, what I got it to do, and if it works for you and helps you, great. Anyway, that's it for today. Thanks for watching.